Singer Teairra Mari, the once it girl of the music industry, is finally breaking her silence and revealing why she was forced to quit her career. And she has all the receipts as to why some very powerful people in the industry decided to kill her career. Y'all won't believe the tea she's spilling about this drama because it is just wild. Now, we haven't heard from Teairra in a long time after her time on Love and Hip Hop, where she was known for being messy AF. The wild thing about this story is that Teairra was not always the messy person we saw on Love and Hip Hop because the industry just kind of broke her. Well, it looks like she is finally revealing what really went down and is kind of blaming Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Rihanna for tag teaming her. Yup, you heard that right. Teairra feels like they played her big time, and their actions eventually caused her to quit music. Before y'all start dragging Teairra and calling her jealous, you need to listen to her side of the story, cause child, it looks like she might have been kind of right on how they did her dirty. We all know that Jay-Z signed Rihanna to Def Jam and helped to make her the superstar that she is today, but before Rihanna was signed to Def Jam, there was another girl on the label that was already being groomed to be the next superstar. That girl was Teairra Mari, and she was on the label before Rihanna. In fact, Jay-Z had so much faith in Teairra's star power that he referred to her as the princess of Def Jam.
Teairra Mari.
Yeah.
Okay, and she's the first lady of the rock?
She's the princess.
If you know Jay-Z, then you'll know that he's not the type to hand out compliments unless he thinks that it's really deserved. He doesn't just hand out compliments just because, so if he called Teairra the princess of Def Jam, y'all better believe that she had the star power. Anywho, Rihanna got signed to Def Jam, but nobody really paid her a lot of attention because they were all focused on Teairra. Teairra had already dropped a song titled Make Her Feel Good, and it was a hit, so she was getting all the attention. Now, Rihanna had already written her song, Pon de Replay. The label execs liked it, and it was already approved and lined up to be released. But for some reason, they still didn't give her as much attention as Teairra, and I think it's because they had put much more money into Teairra than Rihanna, since Teairra had been at the label for a longer time. But this doesn't make a lot of sense to me because Def Jam was a big label, and they could have paid equal attention to Rihanna and Teairra, but for some reason, they decided to focus on one artist at a time, and this just got messy. Anywho, Teairra was the golden child, and when she teamed up with Rihanna and another singer named A. Marie to perform a cover of Destiny's Child's song, Lose My Breath, she took the lead part that was originally sung by Beyonce. Beyonce was the lead singer of Destiny's Child, so when the label gave Teairra her part, they were making it clear who the leading woman of Def Jam was. One thing that I find ironic is that Teairra sang Beyonce's part, and Beyonce ended up being the major reason that Teairra's career started falling apart. At the time, Beyonce was already dating Jay-Z, and she often attended some of Def Jam events, and it was at one of these events that she made a move that will ultimately ruin Teairra's career. Def Jam hosted a showcase where Teairra, Rihanna, and a couple of other Def Jam artists performed at. Well, after the event, Beyonce said some words to L.A. Reid, who was a top exec at Def Jam. She only said one sentence, but that one sentence changed the lives of Rihanna and Teairra.
We had a showcase, and at the showcase there were two artists performing. Her name is Teairra Mari, and she's a really sweet girl. And the truth is I was paying a little more attention to her than I was to Rihanna. After the showcase, you know, Beyonce just gave me one of those looks, and he said, that Rihanna girl, she's a beast. She looked away, right? And I was like, so I did a Rihanna double take.
L.A. Reid basically confirmed that the label wasn't paying much attention to Rihanna, but Beyonce made him sit up. Now, I feel like the reason Beyonce said what she said to L.A. Reid was that Rihanna was Jay-Z's artist, but she wasn't getting enough push from the label. So Beyonce decided to do her boyfriend a favor and help him convince the label to focus on Rihanna. At the time, Beyonce was already a superstar and had a successful solo career, so she knew that her words were going to carry a lot of weight and influence. But hey, the game is the game, and the label finally decided to invest more into Rihanna. They still kept Teairra as their number one, but that quickly changed when Teairra started getting uncomfortable with some of the label's demands. They wanted her to change her entire image, give off bad girl vibes, and generally just be a baddie. This was weird because Teairra was still very young then. She was still a teen in high school, so of course she felt weirded out by it. But Rihanna, on the other hand, well, being a baddie came naturally to her. She was more than happy to give the label the bad girl they needed, and this is where she started to have an edge over Teairra. I mean, she even named her third album good girl gone bad, and if that doesn't tell y'all what you need to know, then I don't know what will. But to be fair, I can't blame Rihanna because she was just trying to secure her career. It was an eat or be eaten situation, and she chose to eat instead of being eaten. If Teairra thought the label trying to change her was bad, well, things were about to get even worse for her. Y'all know how I said she already had a hit song, Make Her Feel Good? Well, the song was the lead single from her debut album, Rockefeller Records Presents Teairra Mari, and because the song had performed so well, there were high expectations from the album. She dropped the album and it sold 69,000 copies in the first week, which wasn't bad for a debut album, and mind you, this was at the time when social media was not really a thing. But the label was looking for more and they were not impressed with Teairra's album sales, so they dropped her. Like that wasn't bad enough, they gave her the news over the phone while she was preparing for her prom.
Now, what happened was I got dropped from Rockefeller on my prom day. You know, they didn't know.
For the prom?
Yeah, honey, getting ready. I was putting lotion on my legs, got a phone call, ring, ring. Hey, yeah, we're gonna be letting you go. I was like, oh. I didn't even tell anybody that day.
The music industry is cold AF, and she learned that the hard way. At this time, people were already talking about how Def Jam was unfair to Teairra. But it soon became clear that Teairra's career was being sabotaged by Jay-Z and Rihanna, and I'm not just talking about the comments from Beyonce. There are speculations that Jay-Z pulled some strings to get Rihanna to stay at the label when she should have been dropped. See, not long after Teairra dropped her album, Rihanna also dropped her debut album, Music of the Sun, and it also sold 69,000 copies, the exact same as Teairra. But while Teairra got dropped like a hot potato, Rihanna got to keep her spot on the label. If the label thought 69,000 sales were bad, then shouldn't they have dropped Rihanna as well? It was just so fishy, so I get why people feel like Jay-Z has something to do with it. Between Jay-Z pulling strings to get Rihanna to stay at the label and Beyonce making comments to give Rihanna the top, well, Teairra didn't stand a chance. Teairra's career pretty much went downhill after that because she could never get a big hit anymore. She signed to Interscope Records, but she didn't find mainstream success after that. She then joined Love and Hip Hop because we know how the show has been able to launch a couple of music careers, but unfortunately for Teairra, things didn't quite work out that way for her. Instead of launching a successful music career, she got known for being messy and quite problematic, and she has never been able to launch her music career since then. It's crazy how Teairra's career was ruined because of Jay-Z and Beyonce's interventions, because if they hadn't gotten involved, she might have been a superstar, and while Rihanna might have still been a superstar, her career might have not been this massive. And sources close to Teairra say that to this day, she believes that whatever happened to her was really unfair, and she blames the industry people for killing her career just for the sake of another artist. People left comments saying, LA Reid's so dirty, LOL. I'm not a big fan of Teairra Mari, but he's dirty for that. I know Rihanna laughing all the way to the bank though. I think the industry destroyed her career. It's unfortunate that they feel like choosing one artist at a time because there's room for both of them. And I truly believe Beyonce felt threatened by Teairra Mari, especially with Jay giving her the Princess of the Rock label. Beyonce was definitely for Rihanna until Rihanna had Jay-Z. The irony. This is a mess, but do you think that Jay-Z and Beyonce deliberately ruined Teairra's career for Rihanna, or do you feel like it was just business? Let me know what you think about this messy drama, and then check out this next messy video.